Have you ever stood in the middle of a crowded room, surrounded by noise, yet felt an invisible thread pulling you toward one specific person? We live in a world that worships the loud. We look for fireworks. We wait for grand confessions. We think love needs to scream to be real. But the universe does not scream. It whispers. Most men are walking through life deaf to these whispers. We are trained to analyze, to conquer, to fix. We want the data. We want the spreadsheet that says, yes, she loves you. But the human heart is not a machine. It is a wild, ancient landscape. If you are waiting for a woman to hand you a map, you will be lost forever. She will not give you a map. She will give you the terrain. Today, we are not just talking about dating signs. We are going to walk through the 7 layers of the silent language. This is about learning to read the air between you and her. It is about understanding the physics of 2 souls recognizing each other across the void. If you master this, you do not just get the girl. You wake up to a completely different way of existing in the world. Let us begin the ascent. The first layer is what I call the sanctuary of joy. Think about your own life for a moment. Think about the weight you carry. The bills, the career pressure, the silent fear that you are not enough. We all carry this. It is the backpack of modern manhood. Now, imagine walking into a room and dropping that backpack. That is the feeling of sanctuary. When a woman is truly aligned with you, you become her sanctuary. This goes beyond just smiling. This is energetic. Have you ever watched a flower in time-lapse video? How it turns its face toward the sun. It doesn't think about it. It doesn't plan it. It is a biological imperative. When you walk into the room, watch her energy. Does she expand? Does the tension in her shoulders drop? Does her face brighten, not with a polite social mask, but with a genuine release of tension? This is a polyvagal safety response. Her nervous system is telling on her. It is saying, he is here. I am safe. I once knew a man who was obsessed with a woman who played hard to get. He chased her for months, but I watched them together. When he arrived, she remained tight, guarded, cynical. She liked his attention, but she did not like him. She did not find sanctuary in him. Contrast that with a woman who may be shy, who may say nothing, but who lights up like a city skyline the moment you enter her orbit. That light is the truth. Do not ignore the light to chase the shadow. The second layer is a tremor of high voltage. We have a misconception in our culture that confidence means zero anxiety. We think if she likes us, she should be smooth, cool, and collected. But let us look at the laws of physics. What happens when you run a high-voltage current through a small wire? It vibrates. It heats up. When a woman is in the presence of a man who truly matters to her, her internal voltage spikes. The stakes are raised. She is no longer just hanging out. She is standing on a precipice. This manifests as what we call nervousness. But I want you to reframe it. It is not weakness. It is intensity. You might see her stumble over a word. You might see her hand shake slightly when she reaches for her glass. You might hear her laugh a little too loud at a joke that wasn't that funny. The unawakened man sees this and thinks, she's awkward. The awakened man sees this and recognizes the power of his own presence. There is a concept in Stoicism about the weight of the moment. When something has value, it has weight. If she is treating your interaction lightly, casually, with zero friction, it means you are light to her. But if there is a tremor, if there is a glitch in her matrix, it is because you are heavy with significance. Do not try to fix her nervousness, honor it. It is a sound of her heart recognizing your value. The third layer is a weaver of time. Time is the only non-renewable resource we have. A billionaire cannot buy one more second of life. Therefore, how a person spends their time is the ultimate confession of their values. I call this layer the weaver because a woman who is interested in you is subconsciously trying to weave your timelines together. This is deeper than just making plans. This is about the malleability of her reality. We are all busy. We all have the hustle. But observe what happens to her schedule when you are involved. Does the impossible suddenly become possible? Does she happen to be free during your lunch break? Does she extend a 5-minute errand into a 2-hour conversation? She is engaging in the sacred act of prioritization. In the ancient world, to give someone your time was to give them your life force. It is no different today. If she is consistently weaving you into the fabric of her day, she is telling you that she wants you in the fabric of her life. Do not take this for granted. Do not view it as her being available. View it as an investment. She is betting her life minutes on you. Are you worth that wager? The fourth layer is the opening of the shadow. This is a layer most men miss because it looks like complaining or negativity, but it is actually the deepest form of trust. We live in a society of filters. Instagram, LinkedIn, dating apps, it is all curated perfection. We show our shiny armor, but a woman who desires a deep connection will eventually show you the rust. She will show you the shadow. This might look like her telling you about a fear she has, a conflict with a parent, or a deep insecurity about her career. Why does she do this? Is she looking for a therapist? No. She is testing the container. She's asking, is this man strong enough to hold my darkness? Or does he only want the light? There is a Japanese art form called kintsugi, where broken pottery is repaired with gold lacquer. The break is not hidden. It is highlighted. When she reveals a crack in her armor, she is handing you the gold. She is inviting you to see her not as a fantasy, but as a human being. If you dismiss her feelings, or try to logic them away immediately, you fail the test. You close the gate. But if you can stand there, like a mountain in a storm, and say, I hear you, and I am not going anywhere, you create a bond that is unbreakable. Attraction is not just about desire. It is about the safety to be imperfect. The fifth layer is a sacred provocation. Here is a truth that might challenge you. A woman who is truly interested in you will not always make your life easy. She will challenge you. She will tease you. She might even disagree with you on purpose. I call this a sacred provocation. In evolutionary psychology, a woman needs to know that the man she chooses is capable. Not just physically capable, but emotionally solid. If she can knock you off your center with a simple joke or a playful insult, how are you going to handle the weight of the world? How are you going to handle a crisis? When she throws a playful jab at you, or questions your opinion, she is bringing you to the whetstone. She is sharpening you. She wants to feel the resistance of your steel. The weak man gets offended. His ego is fragile. He thinks, why is she being difficult? The stoic man smiles. He recognizes the game. He holds his frame. He banters back. He understands that this friction is what creates the spark. She is checking your suspension before she gets in the car. Allow her to test you. Show her that your confidence is not a facade, but a fortress. The sixth layer is a silent orbit. Let us look at the stars. The planets do not need to text the sun to say, I am here. They simply orbit. They are held by the gravitational pull. One of the most profound signs is simple proximity. The silent orbit, you will notice that at a party, in the office, or in a group setting, she always seems to end up in your radius. She might be talking to someone else, but her body is angled toward you. If you move to the kitchen, 5 minutes later, she is in the kitchen. This is instinctual. We orient ourselves toward the source of warmth. We orient ourselves toward the source of gravity. I want you to pay attention to the space between you. Does she close the gap? Does she stand just a few inches closer to you than she does to others? This is the encroachment of the soul. She is trying to merge her atmosphere with yours. You do not need to say anything. You just need to notice the gravity. When a woman stays in your orbit, she is waiting for you to be the sun. She is waiting for you to provide the light. The seventh layer is a surrender of control. This is a final and most spiritual layer. Modern women are conditioned to be independent, to lead, to protect themselves. They have to be warriors in the workplace. They have to wear the armor 24/7. But when a woman finds a man she truly trusts, a man she truly desires, something magical happens. She lays down the sword. You will see her let you lead. She will ask for your opinion. She will let you choose a restaurant. She will stop fighting for dominance and start flowing with your direction. This is not submission in a weak sense. This is polarity in a spiritual sense. It is the dance of the masculine and feminine. She is tired of leading. She is tired of being the only strong one. When she stops trying to control every detail around you, she is giving you the ultimate compliment. She is saying, I trust your steering. This surrender is the highest form of respect. It means she feels safe enough to rest in your presence. And for a man, there is no greater feeling than knowing that a strong, capable woman feels safe enough to soften in his hands. So, where do we go from here? We have walked through the 7 layers. The sanctuary, the high voltage, the weaver of time, the shadow, the provocation, the orbit, and the surrender. You might be thinking, what do I do with this? Do I check these off a list? No, that is the old way. That is the way of the mechanic. I want you to become the gardener. You do not force a flower to open by prying its petals apart. You provide the soil. You provide the water. You provide the sun. And the flower opens in its own time. Your job is not to obsess over her signs. Your job is to become the kind of man who generates these signs naturally. To be the sanctuary. To be the mountain. To be the sun. I want to leave you with a practice. Something to take into your week. I call it the silent observer for the next 7 days. When you are interacting with people, not just women you like, but everyone, stop trying to impress. Stop trying to get something. Instead, lean back. Quiet your internal noise. And simply watch. Watch the eyes. Watch the energy. Watch the silence. Ask yourself, what is this person's soul trying to tell me that their words are hiding? When you stop projecting your own needs and start witnessing the reality of others, you become magnetic. Because in a world of people screaming to be heard, the most powerful person in the room is the one who truly listens. If you are ready to stop playing games and start living with this kind of depth, if you are ready to become the man who does not need to chase because he attracts, then you know what to do. Subscribe to this channel. Join this brotherhood. We are not here for the surface level. We are here for the deep dive. Go out there, be the sanctuary, and watch how the world changes around you.